O key do key. Hey, where's my? There we go. Hello everybody, it's me, it's Rex the dog. Let me just open my chat over here and we'll see if anyone's joining us today. As we do today's art class. So today's art class, rotated boxes. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what's up.
The rotated boxes exercise is one that has given students a lot of grief over the last many years it has been part of this course. It is very challenging in what it asks.
It looks tricky.
As stressed throughout Lesson 0, that is the nature of how this course works.
Hey, Revenant.
Students are regularly asked to do things they are not at all equipped to do perfectly or even well. The value of it comes not from the end result you get to show off to your buddies. It comes from the things we're forced to consider as we work through the exercise. It doesn't really matter how the result comes out.
Val, hello my dude.
Giving yourself ample time to work through the task and that you're following the instructions to the letter. So throughout it, you're thinking about all the right things. As long as that's the case, it will help to gently rewire your brain and develop the manner in which you think about 3D space as you attempt to capture it on the flat page. Our goal in this exercise is to create an arrangement of boxes that rotates around a point in the center of the set. Some students incorrectly think this exercise is about spherical perspective, the kind of fisheye effect that leverages 4 to 6 vanishing points to create a grid, but this is not the case. As discussed in the lecture portion of the lesson, there are only as many vanishing points as there are sets of edges that are parallel.
That's weird about the notification. I'm not sure how that stuff works, to be honest.
When artists use 4, 5, and even 6 vanishing points to create a grid, they're actually going beyond the core principles of 3D space to achieve a particular stylistic effect. For our purposes in this course, I want you to set all that aside. In the plotted perspective exercise, we were permitted to work both with vanishing points marked out right on the page and plot our lines back to them directly, leaving no room for estimation. Then in the rough perspective exercise, we were still allowed to mark out our vanishing points, but we were no longer able to plot all the way back to them. We had to estimate without drawing actual lines all the way back, and instead had to use our eyes and the ghosting of the motion to estimate where the corners of our boxes should be placed. In this exercise, we will no longer be permitted to mark out explicit vanishing points on the page. Instead, here we will be learning to rely more on the other elements that are already present in the scene, mainly the other edges and faces, to help us decide how to add those that follow. This is really the first major step we take towards moving beyond the simplified rules of perspective, towards actually developing a strong underlying instinct for working within 3D space. This is something we'll continue to develop.
Yeah, I'm trying to just put it on different places so people see if they want to join us.
Because of this underlying focus of the exercise, it relies very heavily on arranging these boxes so their edges are, where possible, very close together.
This looks tricky, though.
Technically, the word boxes is being stretched. As in the past, we've discussed how box doesn't refer to cube, but rather any rectilinear form where the edges meet at a 90-degree angle. That is a definition we're breaking here, for the simple reason that we can't actually arrange the proper rectilinear boxes in a way that would keep all those edges close together.
Rectilinear boxes.
You can see this illustrated here from a top-down view.
Okay.
You might have the back edges fitting closely together, but that will force massive gaps between the front edges. Or alternatively, you might have the front edges fitted closely together, but this will cause the back portion of the boxes to interpenetrate one another. In order to get the arrangement we want, so this exercise can be used effectively towards its goals, we have to break this rectilinear definition of a box by tapering the forms as they recede from the viewer. In other words, the far plane of this box will end up being smaller than the plane closer to the viewer, not just because of the rules of perspective, which are applied in 2D space, but in 3D space as well. This is something I don't want you to worry about.
Okay.
I'm explaining it here for those few who would notice the logical inconsistencies and be confused by them, but I cannot stress this enough. The fact that we're not dealing with regular rectilinear boxes is not relevant, and is not something you need to think about, because we're not actually plotting our vanishing points at all.
Okay.
With all that out of the way, let's get into the exercise itself.
After the advertisement. Okay. Draw across the middle of the page.
We'll start by drawing two axes on the page, one vertical and one horizontal. They will be the same length and will intersect at their midpoints. In other words, the horizontal will pass through the vertical at the vertical center. Draw this with a ruler and take care to ensure that these axes are perpendicular to one another on the page.
Okay. I'm already freaking out. I need to take the, kind of just deal with one sheet at a time here, because otherwise what happens is I start, frickin' writing on the sheet below and I get all the pages mixed up and whatever the hell have you. Okay. Back to the kitty because she's kind of pretty. Can't stop looking at her face. Okay. Draw a square centered on the midpoint of the two axes.
Centered on the midpoint of the two axes, draw a square with your ruler. This will form the plane of the central box of our arrangement that is closest to the viewer.
Okay. Hey Pixel, nice to see you again. Ferret. And dude, don't worry, man. Don't worry. You do whatever you want to do, man. You don't worry about how much you're chatting or whatever. It's all good, man. I saw you were playing some Doom co-op. That's pretty cool, man. That is a lot of fun. I used to play a lot of Doom co-op with my buddies. Hey Jerry, nice to see you, man. Ugh. Don't like how. Whatever. Try to do the best I can, you know. At the end of each axis, draw a square.
Our goal in this exercise is to create an arrangement of boxes that spans over a 180-degree arc across each axis.
Oh, hello again. Hello again.
We
Hello
have the
again.
center position of this arrangement defined, and so we're going to also draw squares that will symbolically represent the boxes on the far extremities of this 180-degree arc. Place them at the ends of the axes and draw them with your ruler. They should be smaller than the square in the center because they're further back in space from the viewer, but you don't need to worry about how much smaller. In the past, this step was not part of the exercise. We added it when we noticed many students being quite timid when laying out the range of rotation. They'd rotate each box very minimally relative to one another and would actually be more likely to arrange them to be parallel to one another in 3D space, converging towards the same vanishing point. By laying out these extremities, which represent the box rotated a full 90 degrees, students remind themselves that they are to cover a more complete rotation. Some of you may recall that our boxes are not true boxes, so if we rotate the form by 90 degrees, the tapering should be noticeable. And later, as we start drawing through our boxes as though we have X-ray vision, some might ask why we've drawn these squares orthographically, only choosing to draw one face. The reason is simple. These are symbolic tools intended to remind the student what they're meant to be doing. Making them any more complex will take this from being a simple reminder to just being yet another complicated problem for the student to solve.
Hi. Relax. Back to the kitty because she's kind of pretty. Can't stop looking at the face. You're done playing. What you been playing, dude? Oh, you're playing Payday 2. Payday 2. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You said that, and I sent you a message. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Payday 2 seems to have, I don't know, people are just talking about it at the moment. And it's a cool game. It is a cool game.
If we take a moment to think about how these boxes are arranged relative to the viewer, and the viewer's angle of sight, we can see that this central box fits perfectly into the usual definition of a one-point perspective.
Right.
The plane oriented towards us is perfectly perpendicular to the viewer's angle of sight, so its horizontals and verticals run towards infinite vanishing points, leaving only the lines that recede through the depth of the scene to converge towards a single vanishing point. Now, using the ghosting method, as we'll be freehanding the remaining lines for this exercise.
Thank God, I'm sick of the ruler.
These depth edges of the box. This one's a special case, in that they'll be converging towards the midpoint of our axis. So like the rough perspective boxes, we have something concrete on the page to estimate convergences towards.
Thank God. Although I feel my ghosting, because I'm moving into like more unfamiliar territory, is getting less confidence. I feel it's losing some of that ghosting magic, but we'll work on that.
This box serves as our first tangible element in our structure. Next, we'll be drawing the box to the side of it, and in order to do so, we'll be paying close attention to the central box's edges.
Okay.
The central box has 4 edges that will be particularly important to us when drawing this additional box. because each of these 4 edges have a corresponding neighbor on the new box. We're going to be treating these neighbors as though they're parallel to one another in 3D space. This means that they would share a vanishing point. Here's where we get to a useful consideration that will serve you very well throughout this entire course and as you continue to draw in 3 dimensions. These 2 neighboring edges are very close to one another on the page.
Okay.
The vanishing point towards which they converge may be very far away, but if we think about the angle at which they meet at that location, because the lines are already so close together on the page,
It's going to be the same point.
there simply cannot be a very large angle between them where they converge at the vanishing point.
Small angle formula.
The farther off the page that vanishing point is, the smaller the angle must be. This means that we can get away with drawing them as being actually parallel on the page. This may not be perfectly correct, but it's close enough not to negatively impact the result. Similarly to how in math and physics, we settle on a certain level of precision and round off any decimals beyond it.
That's not the correct use of the word precision, but whatever. Hey dude, enjoy your music, man. Have fun, dude. Oh, you watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? I liked it. I thought it was fun. I didn't think it was as good as, like, you know, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or anything. But I thought it was really cool. Like, as far as those, like, big sort of blockbustery movies go, I think that's kind of, like, as good as it gets. I liked Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
For this rounding,
I thought it was a good time.
Massively simplify this aspect of the problem. Note that this
I thought it was a
not
good time.
limited just to lines that are physically close to one another on the page. It's all about the angle at which they meet when converging. One edge might be closer to the vanishing point and the other farther, while still having a fairly small angle between them. This is something that will be particularly important to keep in mind when we get to the 250 box challenge, which comes after the completion of lesson 1.
Uh-oh. Fall might be a little confusing. Don't worry. Seriously, don't worry. Next video goes into this concept in more detail, okay. Alright.
With the neighboring plane constructed, that leaves us with the opposite plane to construct, followed by the edges that connect the 2 planes together. Here we unfortunately don't have the benefit of any other neighboring structures, so we do have to estimate our convergences. We can, however, think back to some of the concepts from the boxes lecture to help us in making these decisions. Considering the central box's horizontal edges, they do converge towards an infinite vanishing point towards the left and right. Since I'm drawing the box to the right side, I'm going to think of the vanishing point being infinitely towards the right side of my viewer. The vanishing point for the central box's depth edges is conversely centered on the midpoint of the horizontal.
Alright, Ravens, you take care, dude.
As illustrated in the lecture videos, as the box rotates, the vanishing points will slide towards the left. The infinite vanishing point to the far right will shift to being a concrete vanishing point, sliding leftwards and gradually getting closer to the center of our composition. The other vanishing point will also move towards the left, although keep in mind that the VPs moving towards the center, like the far right one, will slide at a slower rate, while those moving away from the center will slide at a progressively faster rate.
Oh my god.
Keeping this in mind, we can start placing the farther corners of our additional boxes.
Oh my god.
Trying to align them towards these newly approximated vanishing point positions. We are not allowed to draw the vanishing points explicitly on the page, which certainly would help in estimating those convergences, but this will get easier with practice. With our corners placed, we can use the ghosting method to construct the remainder of our second box.
Yeah, Jerry, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't like the, yeah, I just think, like, I think as far as, I think that they look great, those movies. I think they've clearly got a good, like, pipeline for producing that stuff. I think it looks sick. I think it's really, really impressive, all the monkey technology. And, yeah, I really like it. It's not kind of just, like, mindless, you know, mindless schlock, you know what I mean? I thought Dawn especially was like absolutely excellent, but I think really to like meet that again is kind of a tall order, you know. But yeah, I thought it was good. My only sort of I'm excited to see what they do next as well. My only sort of concern, and maybe this concern is completely like unfounded. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Is that and the Alien movie comes into this as well, but I didn't really like the Alien movie. Is those are kind of like the last sort of 20th century Fox movies produced, right? So they were kind of like overhanging productions from the sale to Disney. So the worry I have is Disney's Disney's tendency at the moment to want to turn these like everything, because they're doing this with Alien. It's going to be like an Alien Disney Plus show. Like, I don't want like everything to have like, you know, these like 6 spin-off TV shows and whatever. So I'm a bit concerned about sort of like the Disney over franchisation of it, like being a TV show and it being a, do you know what I mean? Like all these 20 other things. You know, we'll see, man. We'll see. If it's just like more movies, that's cool. Yeah, I thought the director was cool. I thought he did good. That Zelda movie really does like feel like a thing that could possibly never happen. Do you know what I mean? Like to me, that seems like real development hell sort of fodder. So we'll see what happens with that. But if he does it, I mean, cool. I'm interested to see. But I'm just like, I'm not like, I don't have super faith that like, I'll believe the Zelda movie when I see a trailer. You know what I mean? When I see production photos. Until then, it feels like something that could go through like 12 different directors and never happen. You know what I mean?
Considering the central box's horizontal edges, they do converge towards an infinite vanishing point towards
So
the
how
left.
did you find that?
We can, however, edges that connect the two planes together. Here we unfortunately don't have the benefit of any other neighboring structures, so we do have to estimate our convergences.
That said, it does seem like, I mean, the Super Mario movie did happen, and Nintendo does seem like, you know, now at least, to be in a position where they're interested in doing things like this. Like, I don't know if you've seen the gigantic terabyte Pokemon leak that's happened yesterday, where a terabyte's worth of just like concept art and meeting documents and everything going back to like 2003 has been leaked from the Pokemon company, and the Netflix show like proposition document was in that, which we've kind of known about for a while as being a thing, but that kind of like all but confirms it, you know.
From the boxes lecture to help us in making
It does seem like Nintendo are keen on doing some of this stuff.
Central box's horizontal edges, they do converge towards an infinite vanishing point towards the left and right. Since I'm drawing the box on the right side, I'm going to think of the vanishing point being infinitely towards the right side of my view.
So what am I doing? So I'm like, is that cool? Is that kosher? What I'm doing? Oh yeah, no, dude. I don't see him being a dude who would like drop out of the movie. You know, like that's not my thing. I'm not like, oh my god, this guy's gonna drop out of the movie. Like for me, it's more like if something happens, like I don't think that's gonna be like his choice. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah, he'll be on that project until that project, you know, happens or doesn't happen. My thing is I can just see a situation where it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? But I'm interested. Like I want to see it. You know, I I want to see the thing. Okay, that kind of looks sort of... Okay, I kind of get what we're trying to do now. So just take each corner plane and think about what's going to happen in this box. We're ready to push it aside. Yeah. So I got that, and then it kind of gets shorter. Oof. So I keep doing that same thing over and over and over. I'm feeling good today, Juan. How are you doing today, man? You doing alright? So how did I get to that? Babe. Okay. Nice to hear, dude. Nice to hear we're just cruising along the best we can, you know? Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Yeah, I think this whole task today is going to be kind of a tricky one, but we are going to. We're going to try our best, you know? It's all we can ever do. I am a... Oh my lord. And then how many does he want in between? Holy moly, man. freaking crazy. That is freaking crazy. Dude, I know it says it a lot. I say it a lot, but like people hanging out like gives me just like this level of like accountability to get the job done. You know, it really freaking helps me. It's like a lot.
Vanishing point for the central box's depth edges is conversely centered on the midpoint of the horizontal axis. As illustrated in the lecture videos, as the box rotates, the vanishing points will slide towards the left. The infinite vanishing point to the far right will shift to being a concrete vanishing point, sliding leftwards and gradually getting closer to the center of our composition. The other vanishing point will also move towards the left, although keep in mind that the VPs moving towards the center, like the far right one, will slide at a slower rate, while those moving away from the center will slide at a progressively faster rate. Keeping this in mind, we can start placing the far
Hey Farrett, thanks man. I know these aren't like super exciting sort of streams or anything, but I appreciate it, man.
Vanishing point positions. We are not allowed to draw the vanishing points explicitly on the page, which certainly would help in estimating those convergences, but this will get easier with practice. With our corners placed, we can use the ghosting method to construct the remainder of our second box. This process will mirror that of the previous one, and if you rotate your page 90 degrees, it will be identical.
Yeah, dude, I totally appreciate it, Farrett, man. Thanks, man.
First, we'll draw the edges of this new box, which neighbor those of the central one. Then, keeping in mind the sliding of the vanishing points due to the rotation of our sets of parallel edges, estimate the positions of the remaining corners. Finally, draw the remaining edges using the ghosting method as always. Again, we're simply applying the same concepts. Find any potential neighboring edges. Any completed box directly neighboring the one we're constructing will provide 4 edges to use as guides. You can maximize this by ensuring that you're always building out from the center towards the corners. Once you're out of freebies from neighboring elements, you can shift to estimating based on the slide of the vanishing points.
Okay.
While most of these boxes will be equally challenging, you'll likely find the corner to be especially tricky because of the once you're out of freebie, from neighboring elements, you can shift to estimating based on the sliding of the vanishing points.
Dude, what the hell, man?
While most of these boxes will be equally challenging, you'll likely find the corner to be especially tricky.
What the actual hell? That is like so much estimation. I'm like,
Tricky because of the extreme rotation applied to it. Don't worry if you get it wrong, but strive to apply the same methodology to it.
I don't understand the methodology.
Then solving the rest by considering how the vanishing points behave.
Wait, what the hell are you doing here?
Nail it this time, but again, it is the process of thinking through the elements at play that is valuable here, not whether you get it right.
What the hell is going on? What are you drawing? Like, what the hell happened there? Draw the rest of the boxes. It's like, bruh, it's like... Bruh. Dude, this is like... No. It's like, bro, what the hell is going on over there? Because, like, how many I've got to put in to, like, kind of get this, like, a circular bit? Oh, man. This is, like, the first... Like, I know what the hell is going on. Let's come out of his lessons. Feels like you can count the boss on level 1. Okay, fine. Try and see the box in there and grind it out. Okay.
At this point, we've covered all there is to know about the exercise.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's going on, dude.
Steps to fill out the remaining 3 quadrants. When doing this exercise as part of your assigned lesson 1 homework, you will be completing all 4 quadrants. In practicing this exercise as part of your regular warm-ups, once you've had your lesson 1 work marked as complete, confirming your understanding of the material, it may be worth only doing 1 quadrant at a time. This will make it more feasible to continue to practice the concepts of the exercise to the best of our ability in the limited time afforded by our warm-ups. Although don't be alarmed if it still requires you to allocate additional time when this exercise comes up in your pool of warm-ups.
He keeps on talking about the warm-ups, right? But I'm not seeing the warm-ups. Is it because I'm not far enough? But it's like, I've looked ahead as well. And I can't, like... Bro, what the hell is that box? Like... It's like, that doesn't look like a box. That's the thing to me, man. It's like it should have like a freaking flat face. And that's what I'm really, really struggling with right here. Because that's kind of jacked up as well. Oh my god. No, what am I doing? Yeah, the thing is, Val, is he like every so often he says like, oh, it'll be in your pool of warm-ups, and like he's like, don't grind because it'll go in your warm-ups, and then I'm like, okay, what's the... I just don't understand the distinction between that to me, because if he was like setting me warm-ups to do, then I'd be like, oh, okay, right, it's gonna appear in the warm-ups that he's telling me to do, right? But I'm not getting told these warm-ups, so am I creating the warm-ups? Am I like deciding, oh, I'm warming up with this, you know? So I'm just like, I guess I'm just a little bit confused by that. Is he deciding the warm-ups or am I deciding the warm-ups? And then if it is the warm-ups, then that just feels like, isn't that just the same as grinding? I don't know. And maybe it's just like terminology that I'm not like getting a distinction in. This just sucks. I don't understand the method, so I'm just like making up boxes and this is like, this is not a vibe. This is like not a vibe like at all. I don't know, man. This is like so unbelievably lost. Okay, this area over here seems a little bit more high quality. This is like absolute guesswork. But what do I do? Yeah. My tip is exercise you've done the prep for more stuff, and not to overdo it before you move to the main task, yeah. I mean, I don't know what overdoing or underdoing is, so I don't really know. My temptation is to grind, because I want to be able to like do the stuff good. And like I feel, Jesus Christ, I'm just drawing like squares on now, like these aren't cubes. I'm just like actually just like drawing on sort of shapes to, you know what I mean? This ain't good. It's like, am I missing a box here? Like, do you see that? Like, I don't know, man. Oh. I need to go through these steps again, man. Or maybe the next video's got some sort of like insight.
And that about covers it. To summarize the purpose of this exercise, it's to help students get used to looking more at the information present within their drawing before referring back to elements that may exist outside of it, like vanishing points. A big part of this is thinking of the edges in the scene and groups of those edges that are parallel to one another.
Yeah, I'm going to need help with that because I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing any of that.
Boxes, but it goes beyond that.
I'm not seeing that in any piece.
Boxes that are parallel to one another, like in the plotted and rough perspective exercise.
Oh God.
You still only have 3 sets of parallel edges and 3 vanishing points across all of those boxes. In such a scenario, if you had to draw yet another box aligned to those that are already present, you wouldn't actually need to worry about the vanishing points at all. You'd be able to look at the edges present in the scene and use them to add yet more edges that match. After all, every edge points towards a vanishing point. You don't need to know where that vanishing point is if you've already got all these arrows pointing towards it. There is enough information present for you to add as many more such edges to the set as you need. Ultimately, the more we can learn to work within the elements present in the composition itself, so on the page or within a given frame, and not potentially far off the page, the more useful information we have at our disposal, and the more easily we're able to work in sketching out our ideas. If you have to go back to one of many countless vanishing points and adding any edges to the scene, it's going to continually require you to break out of the flow state where you're most creative to find that vanishing point and plot back to it. The more you can rely on the information present within the scene, the more you'll be able to stay within that flow state, and the more you'll be able to focus on the creative aspect of the work rather than the technical.
Hey dude, I haven't read through everything just yet. Thank you for like sending it my way. But I need to sort of like take the time to read through it. So thank you for sending that. I need to read everything through. I do think it's not really it's a bit more advanced to what I'm trying to do, because honestly at the moment, like, you know, as I said, I just glanced at it and I need to read it through in a little bit more detail. But the advice you were giving me there was like, it was a lot of kind of like specific things. Do you know what I mean? Like which are kind of like specialized and more like advanced things. Like you know, like talking about like fur and lighting and, you know, and like shading and stuff like that. Which isn't really like, I'm not there yet. Like what I'm trying to learn to do at the moment is make lines confidently that go in the direction I want them to go. So I'm not really like anywhere close to like learning about like, you know, oh, what's the best way to do an eye, or what's the best way to do fur or shading, because at the moment I'm still just trying to like get my lines to go where I want them to go. So I'm not exactly like there yet, but I'll have a read through it all and see what I can do. But yeah, it's like basically at the moment I am still just sort of low key trying to just draw lines that go where I want them to go. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, learning Street Fighter, it's like, I don't know why I've gone for Street Fighter, but like learning Street Fighter, you need to learn like the button inputs. You know what I mean? Or like to type with the keyboard, you need to learn how to like use the keyboard. And then after that, you can put like, you can put those, you can type and then write poetry. Do you know what I mean? So like, I'm not at the point of where like I can type the keys on the keyboard and then start thinking about like, oh, I should use like simile or like onomatopoeia or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm still just learning how to type on the keyboard, so like it's not really like, and it's like, oh, have you thought about using like this sort of literary technique? And it's like, nah, dude, I'm like trying to find where B is on the keyboard. Like, that's kind of where I am at the moment. So I don't know. It's like cool to consider like all these things, and I appreciate they're all sort of like totally like principles that exist. Do you know what I mean? But I'm like absolutely not there when it comes to like, like considering them and like, oh, do this with them or whatever the hell, you know what I mean? Have I done that like, I'm doing that like really steeply, aren't I? Yeah, that Ferret, that's like totally the thing. Like, I've had some like dudes come in here and they're like giving me all this like really specific advice, and they're like, stop using stop using a pen and stuff like that. They're like, why using a pen? It's better to use a whatever. And it's like, well, I'm using a pen because the thing I'm practicing is I'm trying to draw like lines confidently. Dude, have I already screwed this one up? What the hell am I doing? I'm trying to learn to draw like lines confidently, and kind of like the route to me doing that is, using a pen really helps because I have to like sort of commit to it. And they're like, oh, but if you use a pencil, and I'm like, yeah, I get the purpose of a pencil, like I get why one exists, but the reason I'm using a pen is because I want to like learn how to draw confident lines. And if I use a pen, it forces me to learn how to draw confident lines, Okay. I struggle with I think I'm gonna have to do this, man, because I'm still like really struggling to see the front of my box. Like really struggling to see the front of my box. Oh, you overestimated my skill. Why did you overestimate it? What gave you reason to think I could do something? Let's do this in blue, man. But yeah, it is cool. There's a lot of people who are out there to help. It's super awesome. I really appreciate it. Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, like, that's something I just drew in, you know, 5-10 minutes at the end of that stream I was doing, but, like, that wasn't, like, the purpose of, like, that stream. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was something I just, like, kind of burped out at the end. Oh my god. Okay. Come on, Rex. This feels like guesswork, man. This feels like frickin' guesswork. This is so difficult. This is so crazy difficult, man. This is so frickin' difficult. I really need, because the video starts to speed it up, right? The video starts to like really speed it up. I need like a real step by step, like, ugh. Because I don't feel like the class was up giving me that. I can go back to it. I'm so freaking intimidated by this class, you know?
Descarga Free Now y al tercero, mejor en taxi. Free Now, descárgala.
The rotated boxes exercise is one that is little of sight. We can see that this central box fits perfectly into this central box serves as our first tangible element in our structure. Next, we'll be drawing the box to the side of it, and in order to do so, we'll be paying close attention to the central box's edges. The central box has 4 edges that will be particularly important to us when drawing this additional box, because each of these 4 edges have a corresponding neighbor on the new box. We're going to be treating these neighbors as though they're parallel to one another in 3D space. This means that they would share a vanishing.
Okay, I get that now. Yeah, I get this now.
We get to a useful consideration that will serve you very well throughout this entire course, and as you continue to draw in 3 dimensions. These 2 neighboring edges are very close to one another on the page. The vanishing point towards which they converge may be very far away.
Dude, I gotta put this on like slow speed and just like try and digest as much of this as like I frickin' can.
Because the lines are already so close together on the page. There simply cannot be a very large angle between them where they converge at the vanishing point. The farther off the page that vanishing point is, the smaller the angle must be. This means that we can get away with drawing them as being actually parallel on the page. This may not be perfectly correct, but it's close enough not to negatively impact the result. Similarly to how in math and physics, we settle on a certain level of precision and round off any decimals beyond it. In exchange for this rounding, we can massively simplify this aspect of the problem. Note that this is not limited just to lines that are physically close to one another on the page. It's all about the angle at which they meet when converging. One edge might be closer to the vanishing point and the other farther.
Okay, this point feels over-explained. Like, I'm cool with this, but
this is something that will be particularly important to keep
beyond this, we're getting a bit.
the 250 box challenge, which comes after the completion of lesson 1.
It's like, do I go with the next? Do you know what I mean? Do I just go to that if?
With the neighboring plane constructed,
Okay, here.
that leaves us with the opposite plane to construct, followed by the edges that connect the two planes together.
Okay.
We unfortunately don't have the benefit of any other neighboring structures. We do have to estimate our convergences. We can, however, think back to some of the concepts from the boxes lecture to help us in making these decisions. Considering the central box's horizontal edges, they do converge towards an infinite vanishing point towards the left and right. Since I'm drawing the box to the right side, I'm going to think of the vanishing point being infinitely towards the right side of my view. Vanishing point for the central box's depth edges is conversely centered on the midpoint of the horizontal axis. As illustrated in the lecture videos, as the box rotates, the vanishing point will slide towards the left. The infinite vanishing point to the far right will shift to being a concrete vanishing point, sliding leftwards and gradually getting closer to the center of our composition. The other vanishing point will also move towards the left, although keep in mind that the VPs moving towards the center, like the far right one, will slide at a slower rate, while those moving away from the center will slide at a progressively faster rate. Keeping this in mind, we can start placing the farther corners of our additional box. We do have to estimate our convergences. We can, however, think back to some of the concepts from the boxes lecture to help us in making these decisions. Considering the central box's horizontal edges, they do converge towards an infinite vanishing point towards the left and right. Since I'm drawing the box to the right side, I'm going to think of the vanishing point being infinitely towards the right side of my view. Vanishing point for the central box's depth edges is conversely centered on the midpoint of the horizontal axis. As illustrated in the lecture videos, as
See, this is too much. If it just like took a break there and didn't frickin' skip ahead, like I would really appreciate a step between here and here. I'd really, really, really appreciate that, because that is like. And do they have a Twitter, man? Do these guys like reply? They haven't posted since like June. Yeah.
the box rotates. This process will find any potential neighboring edges.
See, this is way too fast, man.
Any completed box directly neighboring the one we're constructing will provide.
This is like, it's way too fast, man. That's way too freaking fast. I need to go like. Dude, I got on like quarter speed, but it's like it's completely necessary for me.
Again,
Jesus Christ, man.
we're simply applying the same concept.
Okay.
Find any potential.
Dude, I need to shut him up. Okay, cool. Bonus play, watch your own stream and turn on 0.25 speed. Dude, this is freaking hard, man. Okay, so I got that and I got that, and that would be like, you know, from that. Wow. So like rotating in that sort of direction. Okay, that feels like an achievement. That feels like, yeah, that feels like we're getting somewhere. Now what's he gonna do? He's gonna do the same over there. Okay. Now if you just frickin' skip a step and get to the end, man, I'm gonna murder you. phone. It's been so difficult, man. But we'll do it. Okay, now what's he doing? He's doing that. That. I don't even freaking know for that one, man. I think I gotta start like a whole last new one, don't I? Back to the kitty because she's kind of pretty. Oh no, what the hell did I do? Ah, you stupid. You stupid, stupid dog. I have a really hard time like witnessing what the face is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Ginger Deer, that we were talking about this before. The point of this course is to learn how to draw confident lines. So that's why we're using pens, because we're using pens. So because it forces us to have to do confident lines. So that's the point. It's not the matter of like, oh, pens are the best thing to use. It's because for what I'm trying to learn, which is what I'm trying to learn is rotated boxes, and I'm trying to learn to do them confidently. It's using a pen. So that's what we're doing. Hey, there's my face. Okay. Tricky, man. Tricky. Okay. And then, so we got that, we got 2 there. Ooh, that one's like wonky as hell. I need to have this on 0.25 speed or I can't do anything, man. I just can't do anything. Fill in that, that's easy enough. Dude, I don't like how we just like, because for me, that seems to make more sense. Oh, we did the same thing up here. No, what am I doing? Somewhere like that and that. What the hell? What the hell am I doing? I do not know what the hell I did there. I do not know what the hell I did there. I think I'm gonna look into the next class because oh my god, it's like it's not happening. It's like absolutely not happening. This is so challenging. I mean, cool, we're gonna figure it out, but like I need to find resources and stuff to help here because I'm having a bad time. I'm having a really bad time.
When working through the rotated boxes exercise,
Okay.
we basically rely on two things. The first one is, where possible, relying on any edges that already neighbor and follow more or less the same trajectory as the one you're looking to draw. This relies on them being so close together.
I'm just gonna say, please, oh god, please I'm hoping this 6 minutes it contains the secret sauce. I am praying so hardcore that whatever exists in these next 6 minutes, I am hoping so much, dude, that it contains the secret sauce. Because like if it does, then we're gonna be so happy. Hey dude, you haven't missed anything.
The angle between them as they converge towards the same vanishing point is very small, making them close enough to parallel for our purposes here. The other approach, in the absence of such helpful hints to follow, is have such closely and directly related guidelines to refer to, but we can still use what we learned in the lecture section, specifically about how vanishing points slide around as the edges they govern rotate in space,
But dude,
to estimate how the new edges we add should behave. You will have already
I
seen
did say
videos
source.
plenty in the video covering the exercise as a whole, but I felt this was something that could be easily missed or not completely understood. So in this video, we're going to analyze how this can be applied. We're going to start with our central box defined and the box to the side of it defined where its edges have the benefit of neighbors.
Okay. Let's see what we can do. It's not even in the center. It's not even in the frickin' center. Like, whatever. That is such garbage.
Which is really just going to be the leftmost plane. While we can ostensibly work on each edge
Okay.
separately, it can help to better understand what it is we're doing if we look at two at a time. So, we're going to focus on the top and bottom edges of the box's front face, which correspond to these on the box we already have constructed. Looking more closely at those edges on the central box, we can see that they run perfectly horizontal and parallel, converging towards an infinite vanishing
Yeah, so
point.
now they're gonna
As we rotate
converge
the box,
inwards.
this vanishing point
Yeah.
is going to slide towards the center of our composition, so towards the left. And so those edges' convergence will increase.
Cool.
We have one end of each of these edges pinned down, thanks to those edges with neighbors,
We do.
which means that as this vanishing point slides closer, we can only change the position of the other end of each edge to achieve the resulting convergence.
Mm-hmm.
So to put it simply, these ends are stuck, so the other end of each edge has to come closer together to go from being parallel
Yeah.
to converging.
Yeah.
By how much exactly? We don't know specifically, and as this is not a linear perspective course, but rather one on developing one's 3D spatial reasoning skills on an instinctual and subconscious level, we're not going to worry about exactness.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to worry.
The closer our vanishing point slides
I
to the
wasn't
center
gonna
of our
worry.
composition, the more it slows down as it moves along the horizon, and the slower that convergence increases. Since this rotation is starting from infinity, that means that the actual change in convergence will be quite significant, but as we move to the next box to the right, will be further still from infinity, so the convergence will change more slowly in relation to the actual rotation of the box. Keeping this in mind, that here we want our edges to converge a little, we'll place our endpoints a little more closely together than the starting ones. We also know that these edges will be shorter on the page than those of the middle box, since they're slanting away, so we'll factor that in as well. We could execute the lines as well, but we'll leave that to the end. When a line is drawn, it's a commitment. We cannot replace or correct it for the
Okay.
purposes of our exercises. But when it's just a point, it carries far less weight. So leaving it this way for now means we could adjust it later, and there's certainly a chance that we might want to as we figure out the other connected edges. The rest of the process is really just a repetition of the same. There are 4 edges that still need to be constructed, but there's actually only 2 corners missing, with 2 edges sharing each of them. As we figure out where to place these corners, we're going to be thinking about 2 distinct pairs of converging edges.
Mm-hmm.
There's the top and bottom of the side plane, which converge towards a vanishing point that is already towards the center of our composition, and gradually sliding to the left towards infinity. And there's the top and bottom of the back plane, which converge towards the right, like the first 2 edges we looked at. Where our first 2 edges were just slipping away from infinity, which as explained in the lecture section, will mean that the convergence there increases quite quickly at first. The edges from the side plane will do the opposite. They're shifting from converging right to the middle of the composition, and gradually they're going to move towards becoming more parallel. think of it like a car, with parallelity being our speed. The edges going to the right were very parallel, and then we hit the brakes, so our speed dropped sharply. The edges going to the left, however, are stopped already, so our speed will build up slowly at first. While we are certainly paying attention to two edges for each corner here, I find that it helps to focus first on the ones that are perpendicular to the edges we've already planned. Since we're working in the realm of estimation and educated guesses, doing all of that estimation based on edges that flow in the same general direction may result in...
I did say source. I did say source.
More on the side plane,
I did.
whose edges converge towards the left, instead of the back plane whose edges converge towards the right, we're counteracting that risk. Once those points are placed, we'll consider the back plane's edges to make sure that they still make sense, and make any adjustments as necessary. From here, we use the ghosting method to connect our points with straight, confident edges. And there you have it. A box, rotated using estimations of our convergences, all based on our understanding of how vanishing points slide over.
Yeah, but dude, here's the thing, right? Is you say that, but then what do we do about, like, the next freaking crazy ones, you know? Okay, so that's just, like, forgotten about. Okay, great. Oh, I was just asking what the secrets... I was hoping that video would contain the secret source to whatever I was trying to do. And I honestly don't think it did. What was that called? That's Drawabox estimating lines. I might just, like... Is there other... No, it's rotated boxes.
Hello guys, welcome to definitely the heart of the video by Uncomfortable himself. You can find the links in the description box below.
Okay.
You can see here that I'm using the edges of the middle box as a
I don't know winged canvas. I've never heard of that.
In theory,
There's a lot I don't know.
boxes are rotated away from the mirror, so the further edge is going to appear shorter than the nearer edge. This gives the box a perspective that is rotated more towards the right than the middle box. I give the box some depth by also drawing the back or inner side, which is smaller than the front side.
Oh, really? I'll have to check out that as well, man.
It's also slightly rotated.
Once I get a little bit better. Boy, oh boy, am I not good at this stuff.
And back sides, I join them together by drawing the other remaining edges. So now I've completed one box.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you.
Now, I'll use this box as a reference for the next box, which is even further away and rotated at a larger degree. To make this box appear like it's further away, I make sure that the further vertical edge is shorter than the closer vertical edge. And to make it look rotated more, the horizontal edge from the taller to shorter edge should be more slanted when you compare it to the previous box.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Make sure to apply the same principles for the back or inner plane.
Yeah, I'm finding it so hard, dude. I'm finding it so freaking hard. I feel I can do this. And you're right. Any progress is good progress. You're totally right. It's just it's so hard in the like the heat of the moment to like internalize that at times. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's like, yeah, that's getting a little bit yeah, don't worry. I've literally got electrolyte water here. I've literally got it. Thank you, dude, man. Thank you. I think, Jerry, it's so hard for me to keep track of all of the lines that, like, you know, like, for example, like, you know, like we look at this box here, right? There's like a few ways of looking at it, like either like that's because that's meant to be the front plane. So that's the front plane. So really, like, the lines we can see are like that's what we can actually see, like this front face and this. Now I can lose track of that and like kind of see this plane here as like something it's like protruding outwards. Same thing here, like that's the back, but I see that as like the front pushing out. So I kind of get lost sometimes with like within the lines, and different things are popping at me which aren't like, you know, the intended perspective. So it's like putting all these different construction lines on. At times it's making it really hard for me. Especially then you add in the fact that like we're adding boxes next to boxes next to boxes, and we end up with like so many lines, and it just gets really hard for me to keep track of like what the hell's actually going on in the situation. So I find that really hard. I think getting from like here to here to here, I feel like I can do that now. So I feel I can take a box and I can like slightly rotate it either way. Getting to this one over here, I mean, I've only done that a few times now. So, which is not, so then the expectation that I can do it is just like, is honestly like completely ego, because like, of course I can't do it yet. So that we're kind of getting to, because like, for example, I don't think this one is like too bad. Yeah, but I do think we have sort of like diminishing returns as we move along. Now, the next sort of things I want to do is I don't just also want to be rotating it that way. I want to rotate it this way. Now, I mean, that's fine, okay, because I'm essentially just doing the same thing again, right? So I'm not like, I'm not super stressed about that, because I feel again I can sort of get to that. My understanding's definitely growing. Like, my understanding's definitely like improving, right? So for that, right, I can get to there. But then again, that is just the same as that. That's just the same as that. I'm just like rotating the page and doing the same thing in the different directions. I can get to there again. like going here. Moving it from that perspective is very hard, so I think turning the page has to be the way to go for me. So I'm taking solace in at least like that to that, that to that, that to that, that to that. Like one, you know, slight rotation. You know, one slight rotation of the box, like to that, I'm okay with. Which is like going from there to like my first red one, right? So I'm going from there to my red one. To my blue one, trickier, right? But then what I also want to do, wants me to do is it wants me to go here. So the idea is I'm the blue one, I'm the red one. Let me try and get it straight, okay? So I'm the blue box in the middle, now I'm the red box below it, and now go there. Right? So I've done the blue to the red transformation, and then when it's there, I want to do that again. And then I want to do that again, which then if I bring that back, that brings me back to the blue transformation, red transformation, initial red. So it's like going through all these different kinds of transformations, and it's freaking hard. and part of the thing that's making it really, really hard, right? Although I think honestly what I'm gonna do is just kind of cheating. Is I think I'm gonna print this off tomorrow. I think I'm actually gonna print off this like finished one. I might actually print off a bunch of them. And I might just start like coloring in the boxes and like labeling them and sort of dissecting that finished piece of work to try and then myself sort of get back to it, if that kind of makes sense. But yeah, man. there's a hell of a lot going on, basically. I know I'm not supposed to use the ruler, but I'm using it for now to get sort of grasp on what I'm doing. So I can try and do this again. Again, I'm finding that really hard, but it's these, as I was trying to outline with this, it's these transformations. So it's like shifting and then tilting. Yeah, shift and then tilt. That's what. And look, we got like this, for example, this one here, where it's like tilt, tilt, shift. So it's like 3 transformations. And then that other one. So it's kind of, I might even, dude. Let's actually add on a thing. Let's just call it a video game. I know it's not a video game, but where is that? I want to like... Okay, cool. Alright, so, so that's... And then, like, that's a transformation, that's a transformation, that's a transformation, that's a transformation. Okay, so I've got, like, initial, then I got shift once, then I got shift twice, which is kind of like that, 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 and that. Shift twice. Then I've got shift once and tilt. So it's like that, 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 that. So I got 1, I got 2, I got 3, I got 4, which is shift 1 times and tilt. Then I've got shift 2 times and tilt. So that's going to be that, 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 and that. So there's like 5 different dudes which are making this up by all sort of appearances. Huh. So I got shift 1 times, 1 times, 1 times, 1 times, and then I got shift 2 times. So I think that's kind of how I'm going to sort of progress through these, right? So I've got my initial box, and then we're going to practice shift 1 times, then we're going to practice shift 2 times, then we're going to do shift 1 times and tilt, and then we're going to do shift 2 times and tilt. So that's kind of my route. Now, I don't know if this here is like another one. Like, I don't know if there's actually, like, on these edges. Like, theoretically, I guess that's kind of like the browns. That's shift 2 times and tilt, tilt. Because there's other routes of getting them, right? Because I can think of that as shift once and tilt, or I can think of that. I mean, it's different routes, isn't it? Right? This sort of geometry of it. Alright, at least I'm kind of getting a sort of an idea or perspective of what I want to do. Okay. Alright, cool. Cool. So I guess I can kind of break that down. Like the initial one, like that's down. That feels, I feel really happy about that. The initial 1 time, I feel kind of okay. Let's give him a thumb up. I feel kind of okay. The shift 2 times is like, maybe. And then these 2 right now are just like complete uncertainty. So I think kind of my route to doing this is get the shift 1 times these, get those just like absolutely sweet and just like really, really understood. Then I can move on to the shift 2 times and like get this really, really, really confident. And then I can do the shift 1 times tilt, shift 2 times tilt, and then eventually I should be able to like kind of form this entire structure. But I think this is gonna take some serious practice, because I mean that was my initial attempt, and honestly it's like that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Some of these far ones are okay. That's actually okay. That's actually okay. They're kind of, honestly, the shift 2 times are kind of okay. At least some of them. And then the shift 3 times are just like absolute nonsense. Like I've just drawn lines there to make it look like it's finished. But on any sort of close observation, you can see it is exactly what I've said. It's complete nonsense. So at least I feel like I've got a game plan now. I do feel like I actually have a game plan now, because that initial sort of thing, I was like, oh my god. But I guess sort of like talking that out loud, and trying to like analyze the situation has really, really helped. So that question of just simply like, as long as you're understanding, it prompted me to like kind of, I guess, do my proof. Like, am I understanding? Is this going through? And then kind of talking it out loud. Which I think's always completely a really, really important and like valid technique to try and establish whether you get something, you know? So, thank you for that comment. Okay, so alright, so they are converging together somewhere. And then these are converging together, but at a less rapid rate. Ah, this is coming together. Yeah, this is clicking. This is clicking. This is clicking. Okay, this is clicking. And not just in a sense of like, oh, it's clicking because I know the next construction line. It's clicking because like I'm seeing how I can build the construction lines. Okay, this is clicking. This is clicking. I was getting, like, you know, just looking at that task and that task being just like so frickin' daunting. I was getting that sort of thing where, you know, like, I don't see a situation where I can ever be able to do this ever. Like, that's how I was starting to like look at it. I was like, oh my god. But okay, so these are going to start to converge together. Oh, let's try and do it at the same rate. And then these are going to start to converge together, but at a slower rate. So that's a harsh angle. This is a lower angle. Crack those together. Create the front face. Yeah, that's working for you. That's like whoop. And that's like whoop. Although that's tilted kind of a little bit that way, but still. That one's a lot better. That one's a lot stronger. Now I've become a master builder. Not quite yet, dude. Not quite yet. But I did see, I know, I want to watch this later, man. I want to watch this later because I saw, I didn't click on it, but it came up on like my recommendations, you know. Maybe I've lost it. I've lost it. I'll be able to see it on my other YouTube account, but it was like, it was basically, it was something like this, and it was like, you know, like, start treating, you know, modeling or building up things like Lego, or, do you know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah, dude, it's starting to click. It's starting to click. It's starting to click. It's actually starting to click in a really big way. That is great. That's kind of rotating that way, that's rotating that way. Yeah, this is really starting to click. So I feel that like that step of shifting them one time, I'm really, really getting. Shifting them 2 times, I mean, well, that becomes the next challenge, right? So this line is going to be converging together quite steeply. And this one also at like the same rate. And then this is converging together at a much lower rate. And this is converging together at that same much lower rate. Squeeze that out a little bit. There we go, man. That looks good to me. That's getting a lot better to me. A lot better. Happy about that. Oh my gosh, the walls. The walls that I hit there. Oh my lord. But yeah. We getting somewhere. Okay, so next step becomes my rotation twice, which I think I'm going to go back and practice over here and then bring it over. But let's see what this Jacer and Art managed to do. I guess it's just treating it. Okay, let's actually no, let's not do that. Let's not copy what we're looking at. It's the principles sort of helping me out, right? It's the principles. Okay, so these are converging together quite sharply. Oh god, why did I do it from? We're getting lost again. Yeah. It's the outer quite sharply. Okay. So they're going quite sharply. Yeah, let's actually do them really sharp. Let's do them really, really sharp. And then these less sharply. So there I went. So here, let's go. Let's go back. Huh. No. Let's try that. What is that? No, what is that? I've lost my face. I've lost my frickin' face. Whomp, 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 whomp. Oh my god, what is that? So, where's my nail varnish? So that was to that, and then we're going to that. See who talks through this. Veronica.
With the second box done, I'll move on to draw the boxes on the remaining 3 axes. The process I used was exactly the same, since I could just rotate the page. The only added challenge is to try to keep the boxes the same size and angle as the ones on the opposite side.
Yeah. I have failed at that. Yeah, he manages to do that second rotate. Like, rotating it once is quite challenging for me, and then rotating it again. I'm really struggling with, and especially here, I can't really see it on his paper. Jason art seems to have a lot better than just everything Rex Rebel hard over here. Yeah, the nail varnish studio. Punk rock stuff, you know what I mean?
That's fine. Now I'll start one or two diagonal boxes.
Oh my god.
It's important to get the first one right so that you can use it as a reference for its neighboring boxes. The nearer three corners are easy to mark out, but for the furthest one, I just estimated a point there.
I might actually try it.
Is slightly to the left of the bottom right corner and below the upper left corner. Since the edges of the box leading to that corner are shorter than the others, the box will appear like it's rotated to face the top right.
That's cool, but then the rest of it's like, I don't know. And we're not even there yet. We're not even near there. We're still skipping ahead. We're skipping ahead. We're skipping ahead. Oh my god. So, is there any other dudes who did this? So that was Jay Surin. This is Creative Crusade. The Creative Crusade. Creative Crusade.
If you want to learn if you want to learn alongside with me and improve with me or whatever, I don't know, watch me grow as an artist, be sure to start up. That too is not a bad goal. Then once you got your reference boxes, you're gonna start adding in boxes that are slowly rotating.
Dude, much like Dungeons and Dragons or something.
That side. That's when it gets
That great behind him, you know?
to get these four corners done. So let's go ahead and do these four. So we're gonna add 2 boxes per line or per side of the orb. The orb of boxes, the square orb. We're pretty much doing guesswork here as an educated guess because it's like the organic
Estimation.
perspective and I think the rough perspective where we're guessing kind of. But you can use the boxes around you as hints. So it's usually safe to assume that you're going to keep a gap here and that your box is consistent with the perspective of this world. And because it's rotating away from us, that's why it's getting smaller as it goes back that way. And again, we're going to draw through our forms, and we know that these are very close to each other already. So we can use the back of this box to determine that, okay, our box is back, but this one is going to be right next to it.
Yeah, I'm okay. This I'm okay with. We managed to do this quite comfortably.
It's actually kind of fun. Can be.
Yeah, those steps.
Do the same thing and add another one right there.
Those steps I was totally
It's
cool with.
not-
Totally
it's
cool
kind of
with.
extreme because of how fast it's turning. I'm gonna pull that in a little more because it's a little too similar to this one. So this doesn't really match this perspective, but that's okay because you're learning, or I'm learning still. This isn't you, this is me.
Okay. Okay, I don't think this video is going to help me. I don't think it's going to really help me. Oh, so this is like the old version of the video. You know, I think I might just like do it. You know? Like I think I might just actually just like frickin' commit and do it. Alright, so let's think this through. really quickly. It's going to converge less quickly. Hey, that kinda works, no? That kinda works. That kinda works, that kinda works, that kinda works, that kinda works, that kinda works. Hey, oh, that looks a lot more bearable from that perspective. That kind of works, that kind of works. You're going to be able to draw... Yeah, Star Fox SNES. Yeah, man. Get some, like, Star Wing action. Yeah, man. Dude, that kind of works. That's the best one yet. That's the best one yet, man. Cool. Like, part of me wants to jump into the frickin' I think I'm just gonna... Or maybe that's a bad idea, because like I'm setting myself up there to kind of like not construct it as like one being. So maybe that's not the move. No, 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 no. What the hell are you doing? So that goes in. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Okay, right, whatever. Yeah. Sick. Dude, we're achieving something. I'm talking to the collective dude, of course. That is, we're getting somewhere. This is one of the most complex tasks I've done in such a long time, which shows me I'm learning something just like completely new to me, right? Just so cool, so punk rock. So I want to add in like another here. So they're gonna sort of not so confident in that. Kind of feel like I'm just making that up there. Like honestly, if I'm being real. Okay, that feels kind of better. Oof. Holy moly. That was frickin' crazy. That was absolutely frickin' crazy. Oof. Dude, that was intense. That was really intense. 13th of the 10th, 24. Gotta practice that more. I know it's saying like, blah, 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 the warm-ups, whatever. Gotta practice that more. Because I can see the kind of, you know, like this one here. Which I can kind of correct now. I could have done that a little tighter, you know. I could have done that a little tighter, brought that one in a little more. Poof. That was learning. That was frickin' learning. Now, is the homework going to be like do 2 sheets of that? Is that what it is? It's going to be like do 2 sheets of it, isn't it? 1 filled page rotate boxes exercise. Okay. Well, I've got 1 done. So I got 1 done. Next thing we're moving on to is organic perspective. So let's have a little bit of a Hey, dude, I'm just about to go offline. I've been drawing for like 2 hours, but everything's good with me. I hope it's good with you as well. This is crazy. This is what we're moving to next. This is the next step. Okay, guys. Oof. Honestly, no mental space for doodling today, but yeah. Oh my god, that was wild. That was freaking wild, man. Food break. Okay, I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna do a couple of the tasks, and then I want to hop on and maybe play, I don't know, maybe 2 hours of Fallout or something like that. That's kind of my that's kind of what my plan is. What did you buy, man? What did you buy? You bought something cool? You buy something cool? But yeah, that's the plan, guys. I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna play maybe like 2 hours of Fallout or something like that. Continue with that. I got that ventilator thing now, so I can go into water and swim around. But oh my god, that was mentally taxing. Thank you guys. Really, like having you guys there, like really helps us so freaking much. Like being surrounded by like other people, especially other people who want to like improve and get better and stuff. Like, no man, you don't get it. Like, crazy helpful. I super appreciate it, like a lot. So oh, you bought a chocolate Parker for Day of the Dead and for Halloween. Okay, cool, man. Anyway, guys, I'll peace out, guys. I'll catch you all a little bit later, maybe if you come hang out when we're playing games. But yeah, I'm gonna go frickin' eat. You're improving your diet in the same way. Nice, Ferret, man. Nice, dude. That's awesome. That's so freaking cool. That's so badass. I hope you're feeling better, man. Hope you're feeling better. Hey, don't worry, Val. I'm sure if you're hanging out later when I'm playing Fallout, you'll probably have a lot of things to say, which I appreciate, because I appreciate your Fallout knowledge. But anyway, guys, peace out. I might catch some of you later when I come back to play some games, but I'm going to go eat. And if you guys need to go eat, go get some food in. Food's important. Nutrition. And Ferret, I'm super happy to hear you're improving your diet, and I hope you feel good, man. But yeah, peace out, everybody. I might catch